It's called Advanced Answering Techniques. So it is 3 professional people explaining to other people how to answer different questions, a multiple variety of questions. Advanced Answering Techniques.
Hello and welcome to Advanced Answering Techniques. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Josh. Thanks for joining us. This is a podcast in which we answer listener/user questions in adequate ways. I've got a couple of other co-hosts here. I would like to introduce the first one. Caleb, you meet an old crone in the woods. You have a meat pie and a bottle of spring water. She asks if you will share some of your food and drink with her. Do you? Why or why not?
I do. I mean, it's my meat pie. It's my water. I'm not taking anything from her. I feel I made the meat pie, I assume.
And you're going to share it with her.
And I will, I'll let her have a little bit. Okay. I'm proud of the meat pie.
Yeah, is that primarily why?
It is mainly why I've been making, this is my third day out, hoping to meet this old crone and impress her. I've been kind of going out in the woods and eating my meat pie.
I'm just curious, how'd you hear about the old crone looking for meat pies out of the woods?
How
does that information get around?
I don't know if it's due to the fact that I did get soup from an old crone in the woods. Okay. Maybe the soup has contrived me to... contrived? I don't know if that's right. It's like controlled me, influenced
Contriven
me to, make these pies and so that like maybe this is now... Maybe it's a trick. Maybe the soup was a trick.
So you're saying this is not just an old crone. This is a witch with some kind of magical power. She had some kind of enchanted soup, and her goal is give you a little soup, but she gets meat pies.
She gets
now you have sort of a toxoplasmosis kind of thing where you're now attracted to old crones, and you must be carrying meat pies.
I want to carry meat pie with me, and I'm working hard. But she wants to share. Maybe she just wants to have a meal. You know, that's not the worst kind of magic.
Crones got to eat.
Yeah.
To share, too, not just take, but to actually sit down with an old woman in the woods and share a meal.
There you go.
Kind of beautiful.
That other voice you heard, that was Gabe. Gabe, you meet an old crone in the woods. You have a nice conversation with her. She says that she likes what you're doing with your hair. You look for something to compliment her on, but honestly, you don't like her hair or anything about her. The conversation fizzles out when you don't return her compliment. You say goodbye. Keep walking in the woods until you find a huge pile of large rocks. They are gray. Do you eat them?
No.
You don't eat the rocks at all?
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so?
These are.
I don't think I would.
So you walk up, you see, and these are substantial, all of substantial size. I would say these are 200 plus pound rocks at the smallest. A big pile.
Yeah, okay. And maybe I'm inferring here, but they do look like a sandwich.
No. They don't look like a sandwich.
They just look like rocks.
Sorry, they just look like gray rocks.
They don't look like a meatball sub?
Nothing like it. It's just, they're identifiable as rocks. You're not going to eat any of the rocks.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm in any mood to eat after an uncomfortable interaction like that.
A difficult kind of interaction.
I think I lose my appetite when I can't, find a single thing to compliment her on.
What about like using some kind of other sensation to console yourself? Maybe it's not food, but just kind of gnawing on rocks as a way to console yourself. Self-soothing with rocks.
I just think it's strange that there's this huge pile of large rocks.
It's true.
And you're just not going to eat
You guys did.
Not even a taste?
I was kind of lying. I definitely eat my feelings. So I am probably going to go absolutely crazy on that pile of rocks.
And that's something that might not necessarily happen if you just weren't in kind of the headspace that you're in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to save face, and I've been trying to get a handle on this emotional eating thing for years. But today's not the day. I will succumb to that. And so I should have been honest about that from the beginning. You are eating
to soothe yourself. It's not just like a sensation thing. You're actually trying to grind down those rocks into a powder you can ingest.
Yeah, and there's like a sense of is that, this is what I deserve.
Like a sea cucumber. Like you see yourself as like a sea cucumber, and that you like purify the rock and you make it into sand. Or actually, not a sea cucumber.
Just wait. Sorry. I just want to give him a chance to. He seems like he's got to think about that quite a lot.
I see myself as a sea cucumber?
But I don't think sea cucumber's wrong. It's parrotfish.
I'm unsure of what the function of a sea cucumber is. All I know is that they have a symbiotic relationship with the pearlfish who crawls inside the sea cucumber's anus.
Yes. And so, Gabe, sea cucumber?
I guess.
We do not have any Spotify comments this week, I'm sorry to say, but we did get via email a poem from one of the contributors.
Ooh.
Yeah.
One of the users.
One of the users sent
the
in a
AirSats
poem.
Big Three, really.
Yeah, I mean, the big three is in some ways falling by the wayside a little bit.
Yeah.
We have had a number of additional submissions. So that category has shifted a little bit. And also, this is the first thing we've heard from Isaac in a little while. The poem's from Isaac. Should I just read it?
I think so.
I think we'll have to bleep it. There's language. Oh, you don't want me to read it?
I
just thought, is there anything? Do we want to
just read it?
Just read it.
I want you to do
your
best Isaac impression.
Man, I don't have a beat on that.
He lives in New York. I'll give you a hint. He lives in New York.
Thank you.
That's a good point.
Okay, so I guess I have an idea how I might read this. This is the poem from Isaac. It's called "Falling Down the Stairs in Front of Several of My Employees." Falling down the stairs in front of several of my employees. My face red, my cheeks black and blue. Why are these stairs so goddamn wet? The ass aches. What the hell, Alex? Are you trying to kill me? The ass, it aches. That's the poem.
I think that,
yeah.
Honestly, if you read it straight without the accent, it wouldn't have worked for me.
Right, well, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to really catch the cadence. There is a cadence.
One thing I think also could help it is if it ended with, "I'm falling here."
Yeah. Kind of.
Hey, look out! I'm falling here.
Hey, I'm falling here.
Hey, watch out! I'm slipping down the stairs here.
Hey, now I'm sitting here.
Hey, I'm sitting here.
Hey, I'm walking. Now I'm walking here.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you know what?
Back up, I'm walking.
Wow. Kind of a humble brag.
Yeah, he has employees.
It's
the first thing that jumped out to me. He mentions it twice in the title and in the actual first line of the poem.
That's cool. I mean,
but I think that it draws, it's more about emphasizing the embarrassment that you would feel, right? It's
a status change.
Exactly.
There is a status change. I'll give him that.
So
it's not about
literary function there.
Literally, I mean, the category is humble brag, right? That is what a humble brag is.
What I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're saying this thing, but it really exposes this other thing.
Yeah. You're trying to have fun with it, but you really do kind of want people to know.
I
had status to lose.
Yeah.
And it would be cool just to see this also written maybe from the perspective of a guy who's just bragging.
Yes.
Okay.
Where he's sitting there, he's watching all of his employees fall down the stairs.
Change. It's sometimes it's good to see that kind of power dynamic kind of shifted a little bit.
I think also if he wanted to brag, it could have been exactly the same thing, but it ends with, "You're all fired."
Yep.
Something like,
"You're fired."
Yeah.
I'm firing here.
Yeah. I'm firing you.
Hey, I'm making some staff changes here.
Yep. Redundant.
But get out of the middle of the road. That's what you're yelling. That's what you yell. You're crossing the crosswalk.
Right. Yeah.
A cab kind of pulls up into you. You go, "Hey, I'm making some staff changes here."
Yeah.
That's a bigger That's kind of an umbrella for the current situation that you find me in.
Hey, I'm walking to make some staff changes
I'm
here.
thinking about it. I'm receiving CVs and reading them and scheduling interviews.
Hey, I'm org restructuring here.
We have 2 questions this week from Joy. We're stacking up some of our heaviest hitters. 2 questions. So I'm sorry, it did take me a while there, but I was just trying to figure out which one to do first.
Let's have a moment of silence.
Oh, you just to help me, like Gabe previously needed to think a little bit. First question from Joy.
There's a lot of sounds that come out of people's homes that kind of show what stage of life those families are in, I think. And the sounds that are coming out of our home is a lot of running around, like a lot of feet running around the house. You just kind of hear the sounds of feet pounding, and the phrase "How about I?" or "How about you saw?" Like, how about you saw I could fly? Or, how about you saw that I had, like, metal armor? And then, how about you saw, and, fill in the blank. How about you saw? And then also the sound that's like, I actually can't really replicate the sound effects that they do because they're so annoying. But it's also kind of sweet because their imaginations are going. What sound effects are coming out of your guys' household to indicate the stage of life that you guys are in?
Great, perfectly summarized question there. I don't even feel a need to just reiterate that this is a question where Joy's asking what kinds of sound effects are coming out of our home that indicate the stage of life that we're in. How would you normally finish this sentence? I can't even, so what Joy said was, I can't even imitate these sounds because they're so annoying. Okay? But I want you guys to, this is the first thing I think of when I hear a woman say, I can't even imitate those sounds because
I'm a woman.
I'm a woman. And women are not, historically, they're bad at doing sound effects.
Yeah.
If you
machine
grew up,
gun.
Machine gun sound effects are
Especially.
terrible at explosions.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
Not
wife's
good at
go-to sound effect is just like it could be
Just it.
anything. That's
Yeah.
just what she uses. And I
Dunking,
consider myself something of a Michael Winslow. So
Do you?
yeah, it's a real mispairing
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Can you do a helicopter?
No, I
What
can't.
do you
that.
think is kind of your best? Caleb, you should do a helicopter if you think that you're especially good at
no,
that.
not the helicopter.
Oh, you're not
No,
good at
Yeah,
it's
no.
too loud. Yeah, too loud.
I
could
think
do
of it as
motorboat.
like, okay, let's try the motorboat. Yeah. Yeah, it's good, especially right there at the end. That the dynamic
Little
change
putter.
was really
Little-
good. Yeah,
little bit
that's
of
really
that.
good. Gabe, what do you think is kind of your stock and trade sound effects?
Like
wise?
some kind of.
Don't tell us, just do it.
Okay. You know,
It's
I could
pretty
do.
good.
I could
It's
go
pretty good.
That's
sheep.
good.
Like that's the thing. If I feel like it would be better if I could confidently say this is a goat
Mm.
or this is a sheep. So I'm there. I said I'm something of a Michael Winslow.
Yeah, you
Right.
can do one goat or sheep sound.
It just yeah.
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 There's something I don't know goat or sheep stuff that well.
See, this is a. There's what's interesting is if you spend time with cows are just essentially big. That like they're the way that they make sounds that
Huge
lowing.
goats.
It has way more of the whoa.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
much lower pitch, but it has that back of the throat like closed off. Oh
yeah.
it's much more.
That's a cow going goat. I mean, it's
There's
a goat going cow. Sorry,
Yeah,
goat
it
going
happens.
cow.
It usually goes that way.
It usually, they usually don't go the other way.
No.
So these are the kinds of
It's too
sounds that
much.
are emanating from our respective homes.
No.
No. But sorry. We're gonna get to that part of the question.
Okay.
But first, I did just want to I really want to kind of dig this into the ground that women are not good at this.
Oh, okay,
Specifically,
yeah.
men are
Yeah.
good at making sound effects. And so I think we should all demonstrate an explosion sound.
See, Ed, really quick, just
Yeah.
on that point.
Yeah.
Just to shore up that point.
Yes.
If any women out there going, no, we can do that.
Yeah.
Michael Winslow is a man.
Right.
And is there? Look, we've got female comedians.
Yep.
And I totally believe that women can be funny. That is not even a question for me. Okay, I know that to be true.
Right.
But
In
there
very
is no-
specific situations. In very specific.
yes, very specific.
Well, I
situations.
noticed you said can be funny and not women are funny.
Women can be funny.
They can.
And sometimes they can be funny so often enough that they can make a living.
And I don't think they should get. I think there should be about a 20% less pay for
No,
them.
I don't-
no.
In that situation. I don't think they should
I
be
think
paid
if they're
the same
doing
way
the
as-
job,
No,
then
doing the
they
job.
should get paid.
Get the money.
Yeah,
And
a
it's
20
whatever their
a
husband.
reduction of 20%.
no.
Yes. What's that?
What?
I just think there's no female Michael Winslow, and not even an attempt at it. And female beatboxers, I'm sure there's people
Yeah.
that are like, oh,
I saw
there's
none.
They can do
There's
it.
a nun.
I saw none.
But she was a nun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was and
Good.
she was from Brazil. and
Yeah.
that was the other thing that was
Ooh.
wrong with her.
Triple whammy.
But I did want to hear some explosion sounds. I'll go first. That was good. I did want to. I felt like I kind of left some money. I did want more of a.
Okay.
Oh, that's
One
good.
that I'll do a lot is one of those.
Okay. If you guys are gonna do that,
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of mine was I was really far away.
Oh,
from the
okay.
explosion.
Yeah.
What if you're
Close to
standing
it?
close
What if
to
we
it?
were right next to the explosion?
Yeah. Yeah. Ran away.
Blue-doo, blue-doo, blue-doo.
And if I could just, they set off some kind of pretty small ordinance.
Oh, are we talking about a huge explosion?
No. I just wanted to explain what you did. There's no.
Because I thought you
criticism.
guys were doing
Caleb,
firecrackers that seem like really big to you, but for me, they're just not so big explosions because it's just firecrackers, so they're kind of small.
There's
so I was
just
doing
no
small
criticism in what
Okay.
I'm saying. You don't have to be defensive at all.
Okay.
The thing that I just wanted to make sure that everybody's on the same page. There was a tiny little explosion from some kind of very, very small ordinance,
Yeah.
and then somebody was running away and getting in a boat, and they drove away on the motorboat.
Exactly right.
Oh, I thought it was a chopper. That's why I started with the Fortunate Son.
Oh,
Sort
yeah.
of kind of get that.
Yeah.
See, I thought you were
Vietnam
doing.
thing
I thought
going.
you were doing. I thought you were doing the James Bond.
I realized that I did kind of dip into the
Okay.
Bond
See.
theme
Yeah.
thing.
Yep.
well,
And that's
it's like-
just because I'm not good at that.
yeah.
So thank you for
Making
reminding me.
the James Bond.
It's sort of
sound
like
effects.
it's like the goat or sheep. It's like
Yeah. Is it James Bond or
not-
CCR?
Yeah.
Unclear.
Guys, what kinds of sounds are coming from your home that are indicating the stage of life that you're in?
I'll go first. I really resonated with the how about of all of that because that is constant. And it's funny because it's not something that I remembered saying a lot as a kid. But since Joy mentioned it in this question, I was like, oh, that might be more of a universal kid thing than I remembered because my daughter says that all the time. How about when she's talking about imagination play. So that's one that I definitely resonate with. There's lots of that, and it's usually that she says, "How about you're my brother?" Surprise, surprise. She's been an only child for 4 years. She wants a sibling. She'll get one soon, but she's desperate for that sort of thing. It's usually orphans. That's pretty common, I think. And then the other one is that she'll also be singing recently. As recent as yesterday, walking around singing "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas" by Burl Ives.
Yeah.
And so there's no sense of
Yeah.
the season at all.
I got you.
And-
She doesn't say, how about it's Christmas?
No, it's not even set up in the situation of imaginary play or anything.
My favorite thing about that was the other layer, because it's a how about.
Yeah.
But with Joy's kids, it's how about you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even like this is really happening. It's just that you, the most important person in my life, saw this way.
Yeah.
Interesting. That was not what I was thinking. I was thinking they were saying that to a sibling. How about you saw me?
Okay.
And
Could
I was
be.
like, I guess it's a little unclear. Joy.
Either
that
way.
was. We wish you'd just been a little more clear.
I
That could
do.
have been
I
helpful.
do wish that, but either way, we can understand. So yeah, how about you saw me? Yeah, how about you saw me? How about you saw it's Christmas?
How about I saw it's Christmas?
How about you just realize
And
it's Christmas?
basically, regardless of what I answer, she'll sing "Holly Jolly Christmas,"
And
and she says the part where it's somebody waits for you, and the line is "Kiss her once for me," because it's the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you.
How about How about you see there's mistletoe?
Yeah. So Burl is kind of operating in that sort of realm anyway. But he says, "Kiss her once for me," but my daughter does not understand that line, and she just says, "Yes, sir," once for me, and is insistent that that's the real line, even though I've told her that it really doesn't make sense to say
Yes, sir, once.
once for me. And also, there's the added clue of mistletoe. She doesn't understand what you do under
I
mistletoe.
kinda would like
We're
if we
keeping it that way.
Change that. If we change that, it was if you go under mistletoe, you say yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
That's just do that once,
just for me.
More wholesome.
if you could.
Yeah.
Yes, it is more wholesome. Kissing under mistletoe,
Ooh, gross.
unwholesome.
Yeah.
It's for sluts.
Yeah,
It's for sluts and burlives. Or that the guy burlives is talking to.
the guy.
The gal?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he says
Well, he says,
kiss her once for me. I'd
Okay.
assume that,
This is Burl Ives singing a Christmas song to another man.
I mean, that is.
Well,
Maybe-
it definitely has to
that's
be.
where we're at.
Yeah, but this doesn't even involve a woman in the yes sir context, because it's not kiss her. It's just yes. So it's like kind of more like just soldiers hanging out,
yeah.
and it's
Okay.
Christmas time.
Yeah,
That's what soldiers do under mistletoe.
but I like that the soldiers are like, well, we gotta have the mistletoe.
Yeah.
But
They're not worried about it, making them sad, being reminded at what they are unable to do. Or maybe just not willing to do.
right, maybe yes,
Yeah.
Not desperate enough, maybe. I don't know.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah. So in other words, young children.
children.
You're hearing some
It's
of the
very
same
similar,
things as
yeah.
Joy, and just a kind of a doggedness about maintaining the spirit of Christmas all year long.
All year round. Yeah. And it's I'm sure our neighbors love that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's so good for you.
I love it.
And,
Yeah.
and I, because it is a stage of life, kids, and I get it. I have kids.
Right.
But there's also a stage to parenting, I think, too,
Mm.
that you can be kind of seen by what's coming out of your house.
Sure.
And that's kind of where I'm coming from,
Gotcha.
in that what you're going to hear from my house is a lot of praying,
Oh, yeah.
reading the Bible,
Yeah.
and singing, and even some bells, like tones going off to remind us the hours.
To observe the hours.
To observe
Yes,
the hours.
Of course.
And
It's matins.
you might even hear
Hey everyone, it's matins.
It's matins. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You might even
It's
hear
vespers.
Yeah.
like kneeling,
Okay.
That
and
the
prostration.
Yeah, you'll hear the distinctive sound of knees contacting the wood floor.
Tiny knees.
Many, like my kids, we have kind of made our home kind of a monastery. And so it might not be as fun. Like that sounds like so much fun. Gabe.
Oh, it's too much. It's honestly too.
Yeah.
And Joy, it sounds like so much fun at your house, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, but for my house, it is like Fun is good, but
Yeah.
not too much.
Well, in your
Not
house,
all the time.
praying is fun, and
That's
it's a
part of
kind
the
of
thing.
fun that's like more
Deeply fun.
subdued.
Mm-hmm.
There's very little to no laughter.
Yeah, not
When
during
you're having fun.
Not during the prayers.
AKA praying.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
We have a half hour of laughter time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you save up the laughs, and then so you will hear that half hour of laughing, and it will be. It's. I mean, I've kind of second guessed us doing it because it is kind of unsettling.
Yeah.
It's a half hour of enforced laughing. Or would
Well-
you say it's like probably 5 minutes of enforced laughing and then 25 minutes of just actually enjoying it?
It's not enforced,
Mhm.
but I will say if one of our children enters into the laughter zone for their 30 minutes of laughter and there's not very much laughter, I'm kind of like, what you don't like prayer? You don't have laughter saved up? Like, so you don't have the saved up laughter?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes, there's maybe it does kind of make them feel compelled.
Time to pray.
Right.
Time to laugh.
Time to laugh.
Time to laugh. They show up
They're
in
running
time.
out.
It's from Scripture.
The time starts now, and if you
Yeah.
don't do the laughing now,
There's a time
Well,
for every
I start to
season
question
under
whether
heaven.
you're praying when it's time to pray.
yes,
If you're not laughing hard enough, you need to pray more.
Pray for the gift. Pray that God will give you the gift of making me believe that you're really laughing.
so it's just different, and
Yeah.
but I found it. Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy that that we have this difference, though. You know,
Yes, I think I know exactly what you
Well,
mean.
and it is interesting because I feel in some ways like there's a certain there's kind of a triangulation that happens between those 2 points that puts you in my situation.
okay,
You're kind of watching parents try to figure out how to deal with their children, how to manage their children in these different situations, and there are different solutions for that. But then ultimately what you get to see is kind of what's happening in my house, which is whether or not that has worked out.
yeah,
And so the sounds, this is kind of late stage parenting. And I think you'll see what I mean here. So the sounds that are coming out of my house are a lot of times it's someone running a blender. They're running a blender. I would say it's not just the sound of someone running a blender. It's the sound of someone ruining a blender. And then you'll hear someone say, whoa, should the blender sound like that? The blender goes off for a second. And then the sound of someone else saying, that's just how blenders sound. And they'll be really emphatic that it's normal for a blender to sound. There's a high whine
Yeah.
on a motor, and you feel like that motor's working too hard. I mean, it would have to be so much. It would have to sound so much more stressed out than that. You can tell that there's something wrong with the motor.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't be like that.
Like even if you didn't have an idea of what it is supposed to sound like
You
normally,
would be like, well,
you'd be like
probably
that's
not
that. I mean,
probably not.
honestly, though, if a blender sounded like
Yeah, that would be an alarm there.
No, that would be
it's just,
Yeah.
and you just see the fruit or whatever's in there, just sort
Kind
of
of-
like, just sort of slightly moving around.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and I wish that was the situation. Oh, how I wish that could be what's happening, but it just isn't. And then the blender turns on again and starts making the worst noise you've ever heard. And then you might hear someone saying, that can't be right. Also, I'm smelling like plastic components burning. I smell something burning. And then you'll hear someone else say, I don't smell anything. It's fine. And then the blender goes back on again. And then you'll hear someone saying, could you add some liquid? Is there any way the thing that you're doing here is not working? You can see through the plastic that it's not moving. Nothing is happening. Can you just add some more liquid to it? And that seems, for some reason, you'll hear kind of an exasperated sound coming from the person that you're dealing with there, because that's apparent. I don't know why just some liquid couldn't be added, but it's such a problem.
It would be an admission of failure.
I think there's something like that. Just maybe some bloody mindedness. And then they'll be like, it doesn't need any more liquid. It always sounds like this. I don't smell anything. And so then you hear that blender sound. If you're walking by over the course of the next few hours, you'll just hear that sound of the blender from outside. And then it stops. And if eagle-eared listeners will note that someone will say later, when are we going back to Costco? Because there's something wrong with the blender. And maybe we could pick up a new blender, because the blenders are, for these children, so apparently important.
Do you get the 2-pack?
We try to get at least a 2-pack. It's actually 2-pack Tupac branded blender at Costco.
That's cool.
Yeah, live and die in LA.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thug Life.
I don't think they
blender.
have that brand, but on Amazon you can set up a subscribe and save for blenders.
For blenders.
I think
Yeah.
it might be.
Yeah.
That might
what
be
you're
something to
looking
look
for.
into
Yeah.
ultimately.
That's
Yeah.
Or do they have at Costco? They sell regular size blenders or huge blenders?
I don't know what regular. I mean, what would regular size be?
I don't know, enough to fit like up to like half of
Like
your arm.
four-
in it.
like-
half of your arm. In
Oh, I gotcha.
Like
Or
that's what
that's
I
like a
usually
normal
measure by. Yeah,
size.
I
I was
like
thinking
put my arm in and be like, okay, normal
maybe
size.
half of a 200-pound gray rock,
Oh boy.
and then you can get it powdered.
There's a certain point that you might just be looking for a wood chipper and like a trash bag.
If you're
Not
trying to get
bad
rid of
idea.
half of your arm, a
Like-
wood chipper's going to be.
Wood
No,
chippers
but
don't
I
do
just
good.
mean the volume
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Like, just stop bothering with the blender. The wood chipper is going to be
Why don't we
more
do this?
heavy duty, and you just have to get a contractor's bag to
This
put on
is-
the spout.
This is a great idea. We should make a smoothie with a wood chipper.
Let's try it.
I
Prove
mean,
the concept. I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
I think
Pineapples.
the beavers in the neighborhood just got interested,
why?
like making a wood chip smoothie. I
Mhm.
think beavers would like
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. I think they would think that was like eating food, like that was already digested. Like,
Oh, like puke.
yeah.
I mean, I guess you're making a lot of assumptions about what beavers are and aren't into.
I just think they like a whole tree. That's sort of like organic, free range food for
Gotcha.
them,
Yeah.
and then like highly
Yeah.
processed, like salt. Like they don't like eat salt. Or
you-
maybe beavers use sawdust like snus.
Oh, whoa.
I never
Yeah.
thought of this.
They're
but
just
maybe they
Dipping,
do.
Yeah.
just packing a lip with sawdust.
And it has to be said with such prominent teeth that they probably do also enjoy the chewing part of the eating wood.
It might
Yeah,
even be
yeah.
essential for
Right.
their like actual biological situation.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
need to do that.
They need to in order to keep those teeth from growing
from
through their lower
Because
jaw
I don't think
or
do they
whatever.
actually eat the wood?
Yeah, they
They
eat it.
I'm. I can say with sort of 99.999% confidence that beavers are eating wood.
They eat
They're
it.
eating it or just chewing it?
No, they
chew
eat
No,
on
no.
it. It's kind of like Gabe and the Rocks.
No. I mean that's kind of a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Beavers are eating the wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't want to hear anything to the contrary.
I won't say anything else about beavers just chewing wood, spitting it out.
No,
and
no,
just-
that's not happening. They're eating.
They eat it.
It's it's how they survive.
Sort of like gum. We chew gum, but then we spit it out. We don't
No.
want to
That's
eat it.
and you're saying. Or hold on, just so I can be clear, you're not saying that that's what beavers are
no,
doing.
No. It's saying yeah, that's what I was trying to
Yeah.
get across.
Okay.
but
Is that would be something that beavers don't do because they're eating it? That's how they live.
that's how they live.
That's how they like to live. Also, one other thing you might hear if you're listening outside my house, and I hope you are, is someone saying sorry in a tone of voice that is negating what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of a catch-22 sorry.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. Yes. It's tricky because, of course, classically, catch-22 is a situation where you, I believe it's you can't be thrown out of the Air Force for being crazy, because being in the Air Force is crazy. So if you're in the Air Force, you're necessarily crazy. But then, that's what it catches. I think I don't want it. I'm 99.999% sure that's exactly what the situation is.
You can't actually apologize because of how you're saying sorry.
Yes. I would say it's more of a situation where A equals not A. That would be a good way of
it just doesn't roll off the tongue like catch-22.
Yeah.
I've been trying to use the word catch-22 more.
What if we just called it catch-23?
This is a catch-23 situation.
Yeah. It's like kind of related.
Well, it's even more.
Yeah.
It's kind of a snake egg situation.
Yeah. This is a catch-46 situation.
It's kind of a snake egg situation.
Yeah. Like, which came first, the snake or the egg?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which came first, the snake or the snake eating the egg?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another question from Joy.
I feel sorry for my husband because my son, my daughter, and I have all lost our glasses the past 2 months. I have no idea where I put mine. My 2 children have no idea where they put theirs. And I think he's like wondering who his family is, maybe questioning his life choices. And I found my car keys, though. I know I feel like that's so cliche for a lady to lose her car keys, but I'm a cliche person, and I do lose a lot of things. But I found my keys in our bread basket on top of our fridge, so I don't know what I was thinking. I'm blaming pregnancy on it. I think that's what it is. When you guys lose things, who's the finder in your family? I'm usually the finder for our family. I'm pretty good at finding my husband's wallet. Like how ladies are with keys, my husband is with his wallet. And I'm pretty good at finding his wallet. Who's your family finders?
Okay, wait a second. Just a second. Right off the bat, of course, the woman
knows
is
where the wallet is
at finding the wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The lady's got kind of some kind of gaydar for credit cards.
Yes. Yes, exactly. They know where a credit card is. Yes.
Because ladies be shopping.
Oh, ladies be shopping.
Women be shopping. And also, I like that Joy said she was blaming pregnancy on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
just might be.
I understand you meant blaming it on pregnancy. But
what does it mean to blame pregnancy on some?
We don't
not
have
understand some of the basics.
Yeah.
We don't have to sort of unpack that.
Well, but
yeah.
You might need keys, though.
It is funny how.
I hope it is.
I think it's fun. I think this is
better
funny.
be so funny how it is.
I think it's funny. I don't know. I'm not convinced anymore.
Okay.
Lost a little
confidence.
confidence.
I'm not sure that it's actually funny.
Right out. I don't think this is funny. This is just good. Okay. So, you lose your glasses and you can't find them.
Yeah.
I think it's a gimme. Okay. That makes sense. Can't see, can't find them.
Yeah.
A real Velma situation.
It's absolutely happened to me. For a little while, I had these clear glasses, and if they weren't on my face, and then it's early in the morning, I mean, it was legitimately difficult.
Which is tricky because you do want. That's kind of one of the qualities of glasses,
right?
So you don't want to be able to see them. The whole point is seeing through them,
right?
So. In a sense, it's
now. What if we made a pair of glasses that were clear on your head, but when you took them off, they were not clear?
Suddenly you could see them when you. I mean, what if
They actually
what if
shone brightly.
I'd say what
Yeah.
if I'd give that about a 9 out of 10 for
How
what
about?
if.
How about?
What if? Yeah.
How about?
How about you see you with glasses on that you can't see, and then how about you see you when the glasses are off your face and they're
like
shining.
Neon. Yeah.
Yeah, and they actually say your name.
Okay. Like speak it.
Like
yeah, they speak your name.
like Destiny's Child. Is that Destiny's Child?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Speak.
Say my name. Say
Oh.
my name.
Yes. Well, you can choose between two options.
Okay.
Which is literally "Say My Name" or the song "Say My Name."
Gotcha. Just whatever you hear. A young, I think Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce Knowles.
And the others.
And the whole other crew. Oh, the Children of Destiny.
The other 3?
Yeah.
What were there? 4? I don't know. Total?
I honestly don't know.
It's almost like it doesn't even matter.
It's almost like it's not worth spending any time on.
Yeah. Almost. So yeah, the family
If only
finder.
we could find a way
Out of this, yeah.
out of it.
Well, and sometimes it is your destiny to find something you misplaced.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my family finder is my wife.
Yeah.
She is the family finder, generally relating to fridge items.
Totally.
Yeah.
This is the woman's domain.
She
knows the fridge.
I really do avoid becoming I try to avoid becoming a stereotypical husband.
Refrigerator blind.
That is one of the ways that I've failed.
Yeah.
That I am definitely refrigerator blind. I'm looking for mayo. I'm looking for soy sauce. Babe, where's the mayo? Where's the soy sauce? I want to make my famous mayo soy sauce sandwich. And is she hiding these things from me because she doesn't want me to be eating
she thinks
so many
that's
of
not
these
a good idea?
sandwiches? She doesn't like
What's her
them.
reaction? She's currently with child, so certain, like seeing you eat certain things is probably a little sensitive for her generally.
Yeah. If it bothers her, she's very good at concealing it. Is all I can say about that.
She doesn't care.
She doesn't react when I eat the mayo soy sauce sandwich.
So is that with bread or without?
With bread. Oh, no, sorry. You misunderstood.
Yeah.
It's a pad of mayo.
Yeah.
Soy sauce atop. Another pad of mayo.
Right.
Okay.
Dried mayo.
Well, if I'm taking my time with it, perhaps.
Right. Give it a little.
But oftentimes, it just nestles in the palm of my hand.
It's kind of nice when you freeze mayo and then you can cut it into slices and you
They're all
let it
different-
melt in your mouth.
There are all different ways you can make a mayo loaf.
Yeah.
Freezing is one of them, but
Yeah.
I prefer just get that sucker out of doors in the sun.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when I can't find it,
Mayo loaf in an easy
You say,
3
"Babe,
days.
Oh boy.
I thought we had mayo. I thought we had soy sauce." And then she gets kind of frustrated, but she does have fun with it. She has a little character she plays when she's finding the stuff in the fridge.
Yeah.
She'll be in the other room. I'll say, "Where's the mayo?" And she pulls out one of the hats, the Sherlock hats.
Oh, yeah.
And what is that called? A hound basher or something like
Yeah.
that? It's something British in that.
Sherlock was famously anti-canine.
Yeah, it's true. But then she says, yeah, she says, did somebody call Inspector Detective? That's the character she plays.
That's good.
And she opens the door, and within moments, it takes longer for her to prepare
Right.
to do this,
To do the
than
gag.
to actually find the
But
mayo.
that's what's important about commitment to a bit.
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah, and that's why I'm committed to her.
Right.
Well, that and the vows.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Formal vows taken in public.
Yeah, with like real feeling
witnesses,
and like I
Yeah.
love her and
You meant
stuff.
what you
Yeah.
said.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But like that's now.
Right.
That's where we're at.
That's what's keeping it together.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, the bit of marriage is kind of made up of all these other little bits.
Yeah. I do, and I will and.
Yeah, it's kind of a yes and.
Yeah.
Is the marriage itself has kind of a yes and. Element.
It's the ultimate herald.
Marriage? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the finder in my house in certain ways because I would agree with you that if I'm in sort of the woman's domain in the cupboard or in the refrigerator, that's I don't know what's going on in there. I'm a visitor. I don't live in the cupboard. I don't live in the refrigerator. That's not my business. I don't know what you bought and put in there. I don't know what you threw away. I didn't throw anything away. That's not my business. So I don't know what's going on in there, and I will frequently need a lot of help finding what's going on.
Lots of help.
So so I agree with that. But what I found is that I can find things, and a huge part of my ability to find things is that I believe that I'm going to find them. And I think it makes it. I don't know how to.
That's quite an
articulate
indictment on other lookers and seekers.
I feel it really strongly.
Yeah.
Is that I go, I am going to find this, and then I do.
Doesn't that define a finder? Right? Because otherwise, you would be the designated looker,
Right.
designated seeker.
But the actual finder.
But you are a finder.
That's the way I feel about it, and I feel that, and this is particularly with children, is that kind of what they would rather do is be in a state of distress about not having the thing that they want or need, or they are going to be they don't really want it. Like you want them to have, say, a notebook that they need for math, and they're not really invested in having it, so they don't really care. Or your wife doesn't really want you to find your credit card, strangely, but it's also because you need your credit card in order to log into the thing, and you think maybe she doesn't want you to actually see what's on the credit card.
Yes.
She doesn't want you to know.
Right.
So
You
she
need a
does
credit
not,
card to log in.
You gotta have the credit card to log in.
You gotta take a picture of yourself with a credit card and send it to the computer.
Yeah,
Probably
You don't
the
have
good
one of
thing
these?
is you
Which
don't
bank
know.
do you use? Keith?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of security are you dealing with?
Yeah.
Well, my
Ours-
thing is I don't remember the number, so I do need to. If I want to know what the number is for the credit card,
Yes.
then I gotta have the credit card.
Yeah, I got
And
that.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean there.
It's
I
one
do.
of the main purposes of the credit card is to have numbers
Is
on
the
it.
number?
Yeah.
It's got all a whole. If you guys have seen any of these credit cards, a whole range of numbers.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean it's
I have one that actually doesn't have any numbers on it.
No numbers on it.
Yes.
Oh, I know that kind of card.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's kind of special.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
They're in
I don't think it could be true.
They're
That's what I
inside
mean.
the card,
That's
but
what I
they're
mean.
not
They're
on the card.
Yeah. So when
You
you
can't
scan
look
when
at
you
the
scan
card.
it when you scan it,
Yeah.
it's got numbers.
In it. Yeah, but not on it.
Right, but numbers. What are we talking?
They're not
about?
emblazoned on
I
it.
understand that,
Okay.
but the credit cards work on the basis of having numbers.
Yes. Yeah.
How many numbers are on a credit card?
There's 4, 4, and then 3. So that makes.
That's isn't that
That's
3, 3,
that
4 is a
can't
phone
be
number.
true.
Am I wrong?
What you're
It's-
saying is not true.
I think it's 23 total.
Oh no, you're right.
numbers.
It's 4, 4.
I think it's 23
Well,
numbers
because
total.
of the other ones.
Oh, you're saying the CVV.
On some of 'em
you're
might
saying
have
the
20.
CVV.
No, no.
Oh,
Some of them might have
No, I'll show
25,
you.
depending on how the expiration date is laid out. But I think it's 23 numbers, because I think you got 4, 4, 4, 4, 3 for your CVV,
yeah.
4 for your expiration date.
Right. So what you're
Oh,
telling
and then there's
me,
probably a phone number to call for help on
So
the
I'm
back.
looking at Caleb's card. I don't want to give anything about it away. So I guess there's nothing else
Well,
I
I
can say.
guess.
But it just doesn't have anything on it.
Yeah.
But it does have apparently a little chip of some kind here. So
I
that's
don't
interesting.
know.
Well, no, that's a chip.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it has the chip, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have the tap.
It doesn't have. It's not a tap. It's not a tapper.
Yeah.
It's not a tappy guy.
No. But see what I mean? The numbers are in it, not on it.
But I mean, like, so if you wanted to use that on, say, a website, and could you?
Yep.
Well, how? Because it's already in there.
Because it's on his phone.
It's in the phone.
And how? And that doesn't have any numbers associated.
Now
with
wait,
it.
Caleb, did you say it's? Would you say? How would you say it is? It's in the phone. Okay. All right. I see. You're.
It's not on the phone right now.
Okay.
I can put it on the phone.
Right.
Okay.
So it's there. So it does. So I mean, the important thing to me is, it will be interesting at a certain point in the future if we do figure out a way to have finally. When I would love this. I want this to be true. If we could finally get to a point where we have a credit card that has no numbers at all.
Yes.
Just no numbers.
Right.
I guess it's kind of communicating.
How does that work?
It would be cool if it was. I mean, you'd have to have a lot of these cards, but you have a credit card for every denomination of money that you have.
I don't.
So I to me, this doesn't deal with the numbers situation at all.
There's there's going to have to be some kind of legend
to refer to
for what the denominations are. I'm saying this could be some kind of rectangular paper,
right?
It would that has like an image on it.
Okay, hold on. You're saying paper because this is a more
you're going to have a lot of them,
and they're actually immediately transferable between people.
Yeah.
So like if I give it to you. It doesn't matter that it doesn't say my name on it anywhere.
Nope.
It just has some kind of symbol that stands for a predetermined amount that we all agree upon.
Right.
Yeah.
And those hopefully stay the same.
Right. And never shift.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Wouldn't that be interesting? What if we just decided one day that $1 equaled $1 million or $100,000, and $100,000 just in that first day equaled $1. That would be a big shift.
Yeah. I mean, it's impossible to argue.
You're saying that if we just arbitrarily decided as a group to utterly redefine the value of money, that would have an impact on things.
Super challenging because you said $1 is $1 million.
I don't know what the limit would be.
$100,000 is $1.
No, $1 is $100,000.
Okay,
and $100,000 now equals $1.
Right.
Okay.
It seems like I mean I feel like there's a problem there. I guess I just can't quite figure out what it is.
I guess it means the sweet spot is to have $999,000.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because then you would have 999,000 times.
I just have a sense that there's actually no way to get there.
999.
Because you have $1 and then that's $100,000.
It's up to 10.
And then you have $1. So I just don't.
So the range would be any money that's $100,000 and above is now equal exponentially negative. So now, but then from 1 to 10 and no more, that money is now. If you had, what I'm saying is, you would just shift. The rich people would become poor, and the poor people would become rich. And wouldn't that be pretty different?
Yes.
It would be a shift. Caleb, are you the finder?
I forget exactly how this relates to the finder problem.
The wallet, credit card.
Wallet, your wife needs
Thank you.
the money.
Yeah.
You need the credit card so you can, because you have to take a picture of yourself with it to log in.
In order to log in.
See who's bought what on the credit card.
And she doesn't want me to get on there and see some of the things she bought because they're presents.
Birthday
presents.
Yep. So she doesn't really want to find it. She's not committed to the idea of finding the...
Yes. Right. Well, that's always the problem.
Yeah.
I'm not the finder at all in my house. My wife is definitely the finder of certain things. I don't have the fridge blindness, but I have spice cabinet blindness. If I look in the spice cabinet, I don't find things in there.
Yeah.
Fridge, she's going to listen to this and tell me I'm wrong probably, but I feel like I'm pretty okay in the fridge.
Gotcha.
Spice cabinet's a tricky one. My keys and my wallet, again, I lose constantly. Not lose, misplace. You know?
Well, and I'd love to, even though we're right here at the end, I'd love to hear a description of why those are different.
Yeah. Lost to me means like I didn't get it back.
Oh, okay.
You
So
know?
so finding really doesn't play a part in that at all.
Nope. And also if I believe that paradigm, as in like I lose something and I don't get it back, that's when it's lost.
So
Okay.
during Joy's whole question, you must have just been confused.
Yeah.
So confused. Because you're like, she's talking about losing things, but then finding
them.
Yeah. Doesn't make
So-
any
Yeah.
sense.
Okay.
It's a category error.
I had to redefine things in my head, which I can do on occasion.
Right.
I can do that sometimes.
Right.
But misplaced, right? So
Right.
misplaced, I misplace it. Because look, if I'm actually losing these things, then I'm a loser. And I can't believe I try not to believe that about
Right.
myself.
Whereas there's not really like a social category for misplacer.
Yeah,
Really-
okay.
Yeah.
So what's the big
Yeah.
deal? You found it again.
It's like absent-minded, right? Wouldn't it kind of be?
Yeah.
Yeah, or just like, I don't know what it is. It frustrates me because I know that I'm bad at looking for things, but every time I have to find something, I forget that, and then I just relearn it again.
Yeah.
What I find every time I look for something is that I'm bad at looking for things. That's actually, and that makes me mad. So then I can't think straight.
But see, I think for me, again, I just think that the way that I'm doing it, you should try it out.
The law of attraction sort of.
It's like I hate the idea of manifesting, but it really is that kind of thing. It's like I believe in.
You're using occult magic
myself.
to find things.
It's a yes. I mean I think ultimately it's something I learned from my vast readings in the works of Hermes Trismegistus, and I feel a little awkward about that. But it has.
It's so
it
useful,
means it just means that I know where my keys are. It means I know where the remote is. Nobody cares about the remote. I'm the only person who cares about the remote. We all seem to like changing the volume.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one who can be bothered
to keep the remote.
To try to know where the remote is at any time.
Yeah. Yeah, the remote, that's a big one. My kids love the remote.
My kids seem to hate it.
They love it. My youngest, it's his only way to have control.
Yeah.
And so he seeks that out.
Yeah.
Like it is interesting how young children love controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like controllers too because of what they let me do.
Yeah. To have control over things.
Yep.
So you're no different from your toddler in this respect.
I can't find things and I love controllers.
Thanks so much for listening to Advanced Answering Techniques. You can send us your questions. We'll treat them just this way. You can send those to advancedansweringtechniques@gmail.com. We're looking for an audio file about a minute and length. Send those in. We're burning through these questions, especially since we're doubling up here. This is a long one. Guys, anything else we need to deal with right here at the very, very end?
There's something I want to talk to Gabe about in private.
And sorry, does that affect you?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Just we have to talk about something.
Okay.
And we don't want to. This shouldn't be part of the podcast.
Definitely not.
Okay, sensitive, kind of
super sensitive.
Yeah.
We
Is it
have
related
hash
to
out.
something else that happened? Can you give us sort of the area?
It's I can
just since you brought it up, I just feel like for listeners, it makes sense for them to have.
It's going to be hard to
some
talk
sense.
about it without getting all the way into it.
Well,
so I'll try to dip my toe a little bit.
Yeah, that's what
it.
I'd say is like if you could just pussyfoot around it.
Yeah. Okay. You know that when I get a drink from Sonic, I want an extra cup of the special
pellet
ice. Yeah. So we're not going to get into it though.
I'll have to remember that next time we're at Sonic Happy Hour.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.